The HOA president fined me for my trash can, so I made him tear down his $10,000 fence. The paper crinkled under my thumb because I was gripping it so hard my knuckles had turned a translucent, skeletal white. I wasn't just reading a letter, I was staring into the abyss of suburban madness. My heart wasn't beating, it was hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird trying to break the cage. $500. The number seemed to vibrate on the page. I looked up from the violation notice to the window. Through the frost-laced glass, across the perfectly manicured demilitarized zone that was our shared property line, I saw him. Greg. He was standing there, framed by his bay window like a portrait of smug aristocracy, holding a mug of coffee with both hands. He wasn't just looking outside, he was looking at me. And then, he took a slow sip, and the corner of his mouth twitched upward. That smirk, that absolute, soul-curdling smirk. It was the catalyst for everything that was about to burn down around him. We live in the Gables. If you've never lived in a high-end HOA, imagine a prison camp run by people who care deeply about the shade of your mulch. It's a place where individuality goes to die and be replaced by uniform beige and statutory gray. And Greg wasn't just a resident. He was the president. He was the judge, jury, and executioner of the aesthetic court. I threw the letter onto the kitchen island. It slid across the granite and hit the fruit bowl. What is it? My wife, Sarah, asked. She didn't look up from her tablet, but her voice had that tight edge to it. She knew. We always knew when a letter came in that specific cream-colored envelope. 500, I said, my voice sounding like gravel grinding together. He fined us $500 for the trash can. Sarah stopped scrolling. She looked at me, eyes wide. The trash can. It's Tuesday. Trash day is Tuesday. Apparently, I walked over to the fridge, needing to grab something cold just to cool down the heat flushing my neck. It was visible from the street at 7 a.m. The bylaws say it can't be out before 5 p.m. the night prior, but it has to be brought in, whatever. The issue isn't the time. The issue is placement. I grabbed the violation again and read aloud, mocking Greg's pedantic tone. Refuse container was observed protruding approximately 2 inches beyond the concealment barrier, disrupting the street-facing visual harmony. 2 inches. We had a blizzard 3 days ago. The snowbanks were waist-high. The plow guys had pushed a mountain of ice right in front of the side gate where I usually tuck the bin. I had shoved that plastic container into the snow as hard as I could, but physics is physics. Ice doesn't yield to plastic wheels, so it stuck out. 2 inches. I'm going over there, I said. Don't, Sarah warned, standing up. You know how he gets. He loves the fight. Don't give him the satisfaction. I'm not giving him satisfaction. I zipped up my fleece, the zipper hissing like a snake. I'm giving him a piece of my mind. I marched out the front door. The air was biting, the kind of cold that freezes the inside of your nose instantly. I crunched across the driveway, ignoring the ice patches, and stomped up to Greg's front door. It was an imposing door, mahogany with brass knockers that probably cost more than my first car. I didn't use the knocker. I used my fist. Bang, bang, bang. It took him a long time to answer. Too long. He wanted me to wait in the cold. When the door finally swung open, warmth and the smell of expensive vanilla candles spilled out. Greg stood there in a cashmere sweater that looked soft enough to sleep in. Morning, Dan, he said. Cheerful. Too cheerful. Bit brisk out for a stroll, isn't it? Cut the crap. Greg, I held up the letter. What is this? He leaned in, squinting theatrically. Ah, yes, the violation. Unfortunate. I hate signing those. You hate signing them. I laughed, a sharp, bitter bark. You walked by my house, saw a trash can sticking out 2 inches because of a literal act of God, snow, and decided to slap me with the maximum fine. First offense is usually a warning, Greg. Usually, Greg nodded, leaning against the doorframe, looking down at me from his elevated porch. But we're trying to crack down on repeat offenders of the visual code. And technically, since you left your garage door open for 20 minutes last July, you're not in good standing. I was unloading groceries. I shouted. A dog barked somewhere down the street. Dan, Dan, Dan. He held up a hand, palm out, like he was calming a spooked horse. Look, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them. The bylaws are clear. Refuse containers must be fully concealed. Zero tolerance. If I let you slide, I have to let everyone slide. Then what? Chaos. We'd have bins lining the streets like, well, like a lesser neighborhood. It was 2 inches, I whispered, stepping closer. And there is 4 feet of snow. Zero tolerance, Greg repeated, his eyes dead flat. The rules exist to protect our property values. You agreed to them when you bought the house. Pay the fine, Dan, or appeal it to the board. Oh wait, I am the board. He smiled, a genuine, predatory smile. Have a great day. Stay warm. Before I tell you what I found in the dark with that laser measure, you need to understand where this is going. This isn't just about a fence. This is about the total dismantling of a man's ego. By the time I'm done, Greg won't just be out 10 grand. He's going to be the laughingstock of the entire zip code. And the best part, I'm going to use his own signature phrase to bury him. But first, I had to be sure. I had to get the number. It was 8 p.m. The streetlights were humming, and I was dressing like a cat burglar to measure a piece of wood. Click here to watch full video.